Today is Tuesday, February 28th, 2017, and today we're talking about Kellyanne Conway. This story is really crazy. It's been blowing up all over the internets today, yesterday. It's really silly. I'm kind of upset that I got to do a video about this, quite honestly, because it's really a petty issue. I mean, I could be doing better stories, talking about cats being stuck in trees, rescued by firefighters, pit bull puppies being sold at an auction for pennies on the dollar or something like that. But here I am talking about Kellyanne Conway sitting down on the couch in an inappropriate and unprofessional way. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll place a picture right here on the screen before you. This is Kellyanne Conway sitting down on the couch very casually. And the people that are in the background, she's in the Oval Office, by the way, of course, obviously. And the people that are in the background, they represent different HBCUs. That's historically black colleges, universities. So they came to the White House for like a photo op with Donald Trump before they went and met with Mike Pence. And the purpose of them being there beyond the photo op was because the White House initiative on HBCUs, which was started by Jimmy Carter, had been moved to the Department of Education previously, but now they moved it back to the White House. And the reason for that is the NAACP, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments below. But the NAACP requested that it be moved back to the White House and get somebody on it that has the best vision of it in mind. Now, before I talk about Kellyanne Conway a little bit more, I'll talk a little bit more about HBCUs. Now, personally, I'm not really the biggest fan of HBCUs, but at the same time, I'm not against them. If you want to go to a black college, that should be fine. If you want to go to a white college, that should be fine as well. I don't think you could have an historically white college, organization in the White House, but that's aside from the point, and I digress. But my point is, you should be able to go wherever you want. And this could be good for some people that feel like they're not really a part of mainstream society and they want to be around people that look just like them. I'm not really a fan of that, but it is what it is. Before we get into my teardown of it and my deep analysis of what's happening, I just want to talk about previous presidents that were in the Oval Office. Let's talk about that. Previous administrations. Now, we all know what Mr. Slick Willie Bill Clinton did in the Oval Office. Now, I know this is a family show. We got children watching, so I won't even go there, and I digress. But you already know what happened. And Mr. Barack Obama, everybody thought was so smooth and debonair. And he was just this guy that was so fantastic with the way he was able to speak and the way he was able to sit down and all kinds of stuff like that. Had his feet up on the desk. Even when he was on the airplane, had his feet up and was kind of showing himself off to the reporters on the plane. Stuff like that. It's all good. It's all cool. Nobody really talks about that because the left, they pretty much protect their own. But moving on from that, let's get back to Miss Kellyanne Conway. Now, this picture has triggered so many people, and it's not just from the left. It's 98.9% from the left, but there are also people from the right that they got triggered. I'll talk about the right first before we get to the obvious points I want to address on the left. Now, on the right, they're saying that she's not professional enough because meeting with people, what if you're meeting with world leaders? Would you be sitting like this? But here's the thing about that. First of all, they're just taking pictures. There's no meeting happening at this point. They're just taking pictures. And the picture you see that everybody's so triggered about is just one snapshot out of many that were taken. And it does not capture the full context of what was happening. What was happening is that she was taking many pictures of the situation from that position on the couch. She's not a very tall woman. She's 5'6", 125 pounds, soaking wet. Kellyanne Conway, that is. And she's also trying to get out of the way of the photographer because you had a main photographer, probably with a tripod and everything else set up right there in the center of the Oval Office to get a wide view of all the people that were in the office, which was a lot of people. Trump even commented on that, by the way.
Thank you all for being here. We're going to take some good pictures. The Oval Office. People love the Oval Office. So we had a meeting in another office. I said, how about the Oval Office? Everybody agreed unanimously, let's do it, right? Yeah. I don't think we've ever had this many people. This could be a new record forever. Anyway.
So it was many people in there, probably the most ever or close to it. So the photographer, the actual photographer, was trying to get a nice wide picture and get everybody in there. And Kellyanne is trying to stay out of the way. But of course, you got some photographers in there that don't like Trump or Kellyanne Conway. They want to get a photo of her in an inappropriate position which really just a snapshot of what was going on and does not reveal the full context. Like I said, she was trying to get a picture, and I placed a photo on the screen right here before you. You could see her on the couch leaning over with her camera phone, trying to get a good snapshot while at the same time trying to be out the way. So that's what was going on. It was not like she was just sitting like that throughout the whole meeting. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what was going on. She, at that point, when she was sitting like that, she was reviewing the picture she just took. She was not just like that for no reason. And some people say that she was disrespectful of the black people that were in there because she was sitting like that. But, I mean, that doesn't make any sense. She was just sitting that way, like I said, to review the picture. So, I really don't understand people on the right when they do stuff like that. Because the left, we already know what the left is all about. They want to attack Kellyanne Conway for anything. This picture being the latest thing. But they also got on to her about the alternative facts comment. They got on her about the Ivanka situation where she was joking about going to buy her products. You know, one thing I want to say about the right before I move on to the left and talk about why they really are upset at Kellyanne Conway, which is the elephant in the room. But people on the right, we voted for Donald Trump because he's not politically correct. And we, of course, expect the people that he appoints into the office to also not be politically correct and not be so politically, you know, conditioned like Hillary Clinton. You know, Hillary Clinton would not do anything like that because she was trained to be a politician from her teenage years. She was groomed to be a politician. So if you've been in politics for your whole life, essentially 50 years plus, then you would know every little thing, every little nuance you can and can't do. For the most part, outside of her collapsing at the 9/11 memorial, but that's a whole different story. She knows what she can and can't do for the most part. Now, Kellyanne Conway is not thinking in the political mind. She's comfortable trying to get a picture. So, you know, you got to understand these people are not going to be politically astute as the establishment people are. And that's part of the reason why the establishment stays in the establishment, because people are comfortable with them. They appreciate how polished they are. They appreciate how they speak, even though it's like demon speak. They speak in very deceptive ways. But moving on to the left, the real reason why they were upset at Kellyanne Conway is not because of her being unprofessional. It's not because of her showing lack of respect to people that were in the actual room. The reason why they're upset is because she looked very feminine on the couch. Oh, yeah, I said it. She actually looked pretty sexy. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. And they're jealous, and they have not been exposed to anything like that. They're jealous, first of all, because she's 50 years old and she has 4 children, but is still 125 pounds, looks great, beautiful woman. Even in her age, she still has sex appeal and she still looks good. That's why they're upset. They're upset because they're 25, 26 years old with a head full of blue hair and way, way overweight with no kids and can't look as good as she does. Nor do they have the sex appeal that she does. It's envious, it's covetous. That's what it is, in my humble opinion. That's from the female side of it. And the male side of it, what they are upset about is also that she looks good and that they cannot get a woman that looks like that to be anywhere around them. That's the truth. That's the truth. And also, this kind of ties into why the left likes Islam so much. Did you notice all the, like, some of the comments on Twitter talking about sexuality and she was inappropriate and stuff like that? Maybe they prefer her better if she had on a burqa or something like that to cover her body up, right? Maybe they would like that. Maybe they would like her face to be covered up as well and to not even really be in the Oval Office. See, the thing about feminism at this point in time, the thing about feminism and all these so-called progressive ideologies is really like anti-progressive. It's like those of us on the right, we're the new liberals. We are the ones out there fighting for free speech and stuff like that, which was done back in the 60s and 70s. We're the ones doing that. The left seems to be fighting to squash your speech. They're the ones fighting to cover you up. They're the ones fighting to put you back into a gender role, but at the same time, they don't want any genders. It's weird. But back to the whole thing about Islam. I think they appreciate Islam for what it is. They appreciate Islam because it has strength that they do not possess, especially the men. The men don't have strength, and the men also are jealous of femininity, and so are the women. So they try to conceal it and try to make themselves feel more powerful. It's like the modern day feminists are the witch hunters of Salem back in the day. And they burn you at the stake for being a girl, for being feminine, for having a gender, for saying that you are a woman and you sit like a woman. By the way, every woman I ever have seen in my life has sat like that. Every woman I've ever seen in my whole life has sat like that. All of them. You're talking about your grandma, everybody. That's a feminine way of sitting. So why is that coming under attack? Like I said, maybe they don't like femininity. Maybe they want everyone to be more masculine, or to conceal femininity, to put on the burqa, to put on the hijab, niqab, cover their face, and just not even have the femininity be shown at all to the public. Just hide it away, repress it, stuff it in the closet. While at the same time talking about, oh, it's a rape culture, just that and the third. I can wear whatever I want to wear. But then you see Kellyanne Conway. What's happening is that they're upset at her femininity. That's the whole big thing here. Nothing to do with anything else. But that's pretty much all I got for it. This is a pretty silly video to make, but I had to make it. I had to get it off my chest. You know, the left, they're jealous of femininity. They're scared of femininity. They don't like Kellyanne Conway for a variety of reasons, but one of the main ones is that people that are half her age, women now and men, are jealous because she is attractive, she has children, and she still looks that good even at her age, 50 years old. They're 23, 24, head full of blue, red, green, purple hair, and can't even get men to look at them in that kind of way at all, which should be very simple. Any, young girl like that should get any man's attention, but they can't. And then the men are not able to get women like that to respect them or to be anywhere near around them. That's the point. That's the problem with this particular thing here. With other things, it's because they don't like her in general or the right in general. Talking about alternative facts and the Ivanka situation, they just want to find any little thing to attack her on. But this one blew up a lot more, and I saw some of the comments and just the general tone of it. I could tell what was going on. And those of us that are on the right that are hating on her, shame on you. Just relax, just chill. This is the White House. It's a house. It's not really that deep. It wasn't a meeting. She was just taking pictures, and she's a woman. So what? She sat on the couch with her feet on it, up under her. Big deal. Don't clutch your pearls. Don't grab on your nape and have a panic attack. It's not that deep. Let's focus more on what Trump is doing positive in the country, like how the debt is down by $12 billion within the first 3 weeks. Let's talk about that. How it was over 20 trillion at one point, now is down to 19. Let's talk about that. Let's not talk about these silly things that don't make any difference either way. So what do you think? Do you think that Kellyanne Conway was inappropriate for how she was sitting? Are you upset? Are you triggered? Do you want her to sit like Stepford wife at all times? It doesn't matter what the situation is. It doesn't matter if it's just kind of a casual moment in the Oval Office where she's taking a picture to send to her kids or her grandkids or something like that. It doesn't matter at all time. Stepford wife, or Malcolm X, just like Islam, but I digress. Or do you think that this whole thing is just really silly? It's a silly topic to talk about. It's really just a distraction. It's something that should not even be discussed at all because it's really just dumb. Whatever your comments are, let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.